What's up, y'all? We're gonna start in five, four, three, two. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Poundcast. We are. I am JB. I will be your. Let's start that over again. And five, four, three, two. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Poundcast. I am your host, JB, along with my two beautiful co-hosts.
Pup Saz.
Pup Zephyr.
We are here to talk about all things, really, whatever the fuck we want to talk about, um, with a focus on the pup community. But how was you guys this week?
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
My week's been great. I am preparing for a cruise. It's nice. I know you just came back from one.
Cruising
I am
life.
slightly jealous, but we'll
You're
see.
going far more places than I am. This motherfucker is jet setting. You hear me?
Yeah,
I wish
I'm
I,
not.
I wish I could be a rich white woman.
Right?
Shit.
same.
I was like, you listed where all you was going. I was like, I only went to two places. He's going to like six.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you leave to go to places again.
I come back on the 21st, 20th, 21st. Right after that is going to be Wisconsin, and then almost immediately after Wisconsin, maybe 2 weeks later, is a pig run, pig weekend.
Pig weekend.
Pig, oink oink pig weekend. Like, you gonna see some pigs run?
Yeah, something like that.
Suey piggy.
Y'all, this is our first episode, and we are already. Things have already gone. You just stay down there. It's fine. Whatever. Yo, this is the great thing about like semi-live stuff is you never know what the fuck's gonna happen.
No.
That just said, "Fuck you, bitch. We're not playing
We're
these
done.
games."
We're doing it live.
Semi-live, because if you really want to see the good stuff, you have to go to the Patreon. We are just giving you a little taste of what Poundcast is going to be about. So, as my two lovely pups here, and I was thinking, what kind of pup would I be? If I were a pup, what pup would I be?
So that's a question for us to answer.
Yes.
A bulldog.
You mean like breed of dog?
Yeah.
Another first partner Ridgeback, 100%.
You said,
Because I've had this argument with you before.
Yes.
Like Ridgeback.
And those are
Rhodesian
cute.
Ridgeback.
Rhodesian Ridgeback is that's the name.
I used to have one of those. But
Beautiful.
see, I don't see that based off of him. I don't know. I guess I see you as being the hey
If we're talking about that, then it's poodle.
poodle. I mean fair. A standard poodle, not a teacup.
I mean, I would be but still a poodle? Like, am I that much of a priss?
Chris,
Do you want to answer that?
could have went all the way. I mean, like Chihuahua, because it's that whole like.
Chihuahuas are rude.
It's that whole.
Don't look at me.
Somebody else said Chihuahua because of my facial expressions.
It's that whole side eye. Like,
I
so
was
it's-
really thinking, I would be an American Eskimo because they're friendly and they're a little prissy. They got the curly tail, you know what I'm saying? And they're like,
showing their butthole to everyone. And it's very similar.
I don't show my butthole to anyone.
Well then, so how can you compare yourself?
You're right. And you're right.
I know. I see a little bit of the bulldog just because like I see like I'm just gonna here I am.
Here I am.
And I can be super friendly, but cross me.
I'll bite.
I'll bite.
I mean, I will bite your face off. There is that. I mean, it's really like I'm sweet, but like same thing like American, because I had an American Eskimo growing up. So, like, they're also very sweet, but don't fucking try me. Like, they'll cuddle with you, but like, I'll bite the shit out of you.
I'm
if I
gonna
need
bite
to.
you.
I will fucking bite you.
If I even feel like it.
You looked at me wrong. And so and like my dog growing up used to do this thing where like, so there's two funny dog stories. I know we're going off topic, but fine, I don't care. It's our show. We can do what the fuck we want
Whatever.
to. So when she was a puppy, we just all forgot to feed her one day. and she like nosed her dog bowl to the center of the room where we all were, and just sat there and like looked at all of us like,
What you gonna put in there?
"You gonna put it in there?" And then when she realized she wasn't getting that kind of reaction, she flipped that fucker over.
Mix it.
It was like, it then looked like, "Are you bitches gonna feed me or what?"
Can you hear me now?
That sounds like some shit I would do.
Are you gonna feed me?
You gonna feed me or what? And then the other time, she used to climb in the bed with whoever's in bed. She would just climb in bed and then take the covers and like put them on her, like she was going to sleep.
I used to have a Chihuahua that would curl up in my lap, like when I in bed, would go under the covers and curl up right here. And any time in the middle of the night, if I moved or just like shifted, I'm like, oh my god, don't bite my dick.
That's and you said I'm a Chihuahua. I don't be biting.
That's
I don't
for the
bite
Patreon.
I don't bite.
Don't bite them. That's for the Patreon. We'll talk about that later.
Sorry.
Little teeth ain't never hurt nobody.
You are scary. Oh, you are scary. You just be.
Meanwhile, I'm over here going.
I'm in trouble. Blink twice if you need help.
Both eyes at the same time.
So we are in this lovely, lovely space. I would say we should play a game with our people.
Uh-oh.
Guess where we are today?
It all depends on who your viewers are, because some of them are gonna know this. This wall alone, they'll know it.
Yeah, probably.
It'll be fun. Will any of the current members of Midnight Howl know what this room is?
Many.
Many.
Oh, okay.
And maybe not for the same reasons, but
They will know that this room, what this room is.
many people have seen this room.
This is the first time I've seen this room, and I've been over here a couple of times. But I also limit myself to the upstairs
That was your first mistake.
because,
The party's always downstairs. You should know that.
well, clearly the party is downstairs. We had to figure out where we were going to put this, where we were going to set up down here, because, you know,
There's a lot of
there's a lot of things.
and imagery. A lot of imagery.
As you look up at the wall, like, yep, those are dicks.
That's what that is.
But I love these, and I would like for you to tell us what those are.
So my first degree was fine art, with my emphasis in photography, and so for my senior show, I started doing photography, and this was a long time ago. So digital was just kind of coming into things. So I started playing around digitally, and those are self-portraits that I took. It's a series of 4 self-portraits where I basically removed the negative space in the image. So, and then printed it out on large format printers and framed them, and it was part of my senior exhibit.
You was butt naked in all those pictures, wasn't you?
No, you can see shorts, but, well, there's shorts here. Not that I don't know if you can see all that.
Oh, I guess
Shorts.
those are shorts right
Yeah.
there. I was like, he's butt naked in all these photos. But it gives the image of like,
Yeah, it leaves enough to be.
there's enough it leaves enough that your brain fills
Your
in.
imagination will fill in the rest, yes.
You butt naked in those. That's just in my brain. He's like, butt naked.
You see what you want to see.
I'll have to show you my whole photography.
Your whole?
portfolio.
Show them your whole.
Your whole?
My whole. Yeah.
Show 'em your whole?
My portfolio with all of my work.
Nice. See, I'm learning it's layers. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show so bad. Is because I think both of you guys are amazing people, and you're fucking funny as hell, and like this is a way to like peel back the layers of who you are, and then we're also gonna have some guests that are gonna come in and peel back some of their layers.
So Zephyr and I had the conversation before, and it's like, one of the greatest things is that we fully intend to kind of invite some of the pups from our own community into here and ask questions that we know the answers to.
Right.
So that's the exciting part.
To be like, how much are you going to tell?
Right, because we know the answer. We just want to know if you're going to say it out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think some of those pups will be very forthright in their answers.
Some of them too forthright.
Some of them, that's the concern.
Some of them that'll be a straight to Patreon.
Yeah, some of them will be like, listen, this is going
5 minutes into the episode, it's like, oh, now we're
okay, cool. You know, because there's I have the people that I definitely want to have on and talk to, just because I think they have interesting things in their lives. And then there are some that I'm like, okay.
you never know what you're gonna get whenever you peel that first layer.
That
That
onion.
first layer, it's an onion. Shrek taught us a lot
And
of
we
stuff.
all start crying immediately.
From laughter or from sadness.
Right. It's just like, oh, okay, wow, you really told us that. Thanks for that. I
You
appreciate
put that on the internet for everyone to see.
Everyone is gonna see that. You know, I used to have a rule. Remember, don't say anything that you wouldn't want your mama to know. Now I'm like, Mama, just don't watch this.
Just don't
watch it. Because we're talking about.
See, my mother and I have the exact opposite. We talk about everything.
The whole hot tub story with your mom, like.
So when I first got my hot tub, I was talking to my mom on the phone. She's like, "Oh, so it's all plugged in and it's ready to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "That's great. I need to come out and visit real quick." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I got to get in there before you have any of your friends over. I don't want to end up pregnant with puppies." That was my mother's comment.
So I was gonna ask, how does your mom feel about like the puppy thing and all of that stuff?
My
But apparently,
mom is great with it. My mom has been to Hamburger Mary's with me, and for my fundraiser when I first won Show Me Leather and Midwest Puppy, and when I got in there, she was. Yeah, she showed up to the event, and we've got pictures of her and I'm in my gear and my hood, and I've got half of Kansas City behind me in the pictures, and we're all like, "Hey, selfie!" And my mom's right in the middle of it.
That's so
She's
awesome.
great.
That is awesome. I think my mom is getting there with stuff, but she ain't there yet. She ain't there yet. She's still, a
Still
church girl.
thinking about.
She's still a church girl.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
Still a church girl.
You can get it tatted if you want to. Anyway, we'll get there. We're not there yet. We'll get there. So, how about you? Do you have does your parents know or your family know about your pup stuff and the things that you're doing?
So my family barely understands that I am a homosexual, much less anything beyond that. Like, it was hard enough breaking that news to them. Besides being like, hey, sometimes on weekdays I masquerade as a dog. No, we're not doing that. No.
Having that conversation.
I let them have my academic achievements, and then that was it. We left that. They were like, "We're so proud of you." I'm like, "Good,
Good."
And on that note, we're done here.
good. Whatever you do, don't Google pup sass." But
Because you're going to see some things. You're going to see some things.
some things.
Some things and some things and some things. I look, you posted that one picture on Twitter, and I was like, because I'm so used to, I always just assume, I know are dirty. I know you dirty. But I just
Why would
always
you say that?
girl.
He's not dirty. He's adventurous.
Don't look around. Yeah, I'm not dirty. I'm adventurous.
He's
I am trisexual. I'll try anything 6 times. We had this conversation.
we
the
did-
last time you said that, you got in trouble.
You're right, but I still kept my word.
Just didn't you? Because you're out here licking eyeballs.
That's for the Patreon.
That's on the Patreon. If you want to find that story out, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon, guys. But that was a thing. So okay, I am trying to get like you, or at least somewhere on. Because I'm like, I just am like you're like the dirty daddy, and you're like the clean teen. And then I found out that you're not quite the clean teen.
No, my story is just slightly quieter.
You just keep your shit to yourself.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I'm the church girl. I'm the one that's like, I don't do that kind of shit. And I'm trying to get out of that prudish nature.
Funny story. Zephyr used to think that I was foolproof. Like, if it's anything below the collar, like, no, absolutely not. Like, I show up in a turtleneck, and Zephyr's like, oh, showing skin today. No, Zephyr used to believe that I was a very prudish person, and then as he got to know me,
He
was
realized-
like, no, this bitch is nasty.
This bitch a hoe.
This
Oh,
bitch is
a hoe.
nasty.
Hey, worse than I am.
Saz. You out here licking eyeballs too?
I'd have told him to keep it in, because I'd have got it out. Bad thing is I'd have told him I'm keeping it. Like, it's mine. If I take it out, it's mine.
If I lick it, it belongs to me.
If I lick it, it belongs to me.
You know, I was so wrong.
Most people are, and that's the funniest thing. Zephyr's very out in the open. I'm a little bit more reserved, especially in social settings, and people are like, "Oh, no, he doesn't do that." And then they come to find out, they're like, "Oh no, he
Absolutely does that.
That's
He
the
does
minimum
that.
of what he does.
That is
That's a Tuesday afternoon.
Right. They're like, that's what he wants you to see," and then
I am trying to be more open, more like less, and I'm not ever judge. I know everybody like you're judge. I'm judging. I'm never really judgmental about it. Like, it sounds like I can be I'm judgmental, but I don't really judge anybody on it. A lot of it is just like, I wish I could do that, and I don't know how to react.
I'm very much an open book. What you see is what you get. I will tell you if you ask. Saz is, I think, exactly opposite. He is that, like that hidden story that you've got to read between the lines before you find.
oh, yeah. It takes, like, with the relationship that I have with you, I'll tell you anything. Like,
Right.
we're now to that point, but I think a lot of the pups in our community, there's two different groups. There's the ones that know me very well, that have seen me in that environment, and then there's the ones that are like, no, Pup Saz is militant. Like, no, he would never. Like, he doesn't
scares
do
me.
that. He's scary, and I'm like,
What I think is interesting watching the way that, because you're not in the group chat.
So I don't.
The
have
way
to-
that you interact with them in the group chat, like, everyone in there has a boner for Saz.
I love it.
And I'm like, I don't.
Stroke that ego. No, it's great.
Like, you're
That's not
obviously
an
an
ego
attractive
here.
guy, and you're, but I'm like, I see the vision, but I'm like, of 71 people, all 71 of them wants you to put it in their butt?
Yeah. You and I have a different relationship. The other day you said it perfect. You were like, I don't need that from her. That's my sister.
Right.
This is us.
This is us.
We're sisters at this point.
Now, mind you, like, real talk, if it happened, and I wouldn't be mad.
we would talk
But
about it.
we would talk about it in the Patreon. But, like, that's my sis. As far as I'm concerned, I'm like, that's my sis. It's all good. But I'd be like, why in the hell?
Why are you thirsting?
Y'all are so
bad?
y'all are so thirsty.
No.
Dive in the water.
Dive right in.
That's what they want.
You just want me to get in the pool.
Dive right in.
Dive. Saz, please just dive.
Just
right
dive
in.
right in.
No, it's someone else pointed that out to me recently. Like, these boys are thirsty, and I don't.
Third.
And it's bad whenever it's someone that gets to know me. Someone we will have on the show, and we will talk about this at some point. Says after getting to know you and like breaking through that piece, they were like, "You're a whole nother person behind that," and they're like, "I could never, like, I'd never think that someone was like that towards you," and I'm like, it's the whole like, there's the militant like, and then there's the.
Do you think it's part of that persona?
It's the princess and the pauper kind of thing. It's like,
Okay.
the pauper's throwing that ass back, and then the princess is like,
But and not everybody doesn't get to see the pauper.
no, not everybody gets to see the pauper unless you go to certain events. If you go to certain events, certain dungeons.
I
certain
kind of want to
rooms.
see you throw that ass back, though. I kind of do. Like, I want to see that side.
It's not my ass I'm throwing around, but it's an
It's an ass.
It's an ass.
I kind of want to see
it
that
might
side.
have a name.
Whole.
Whole. All of them are
Whole.
identified by whole.
Listen, and the fact to the TTA, the Total Top Alliance.
The fact that sometimes they'll just post a selfie, like feeling themselves, and I'll just send one emoji, and it's
just
the
the
whole. It's just the whole. Love it.
There was a point in time because I'm fully living in my bottom era right now. Although there's a couple of people that are making me want to kind of reconsider.
Climb the mountain. You want to
Wanna
get on
climb- I
top.
want to get on. I mean, I kind of might want to, stick it in and move it around a little bit.
A little bit, not a lot.
It's not a lot, but I'm like fully in my bottom era. But in the group, we decided we did it. It was Momo, and yes, I'm calling your ass out. Momo deciding that he's a top one day.
That's my fault. I have a T-shirt,
The T-shirt.
and he saw it that when I wore it, and he was like, "Where did you get that? I need that shirt." So I told him, and then a week later, he's wearing the same shirt.
Okay, he's like, I'm a top, and so he ran with it like I'm a top now. We're like, I'm like, does that mean if I push you, you're gonna spin around real fast? Like, what do you mean you're a top? I mean, you're on top.
Sitting on it doesn't make you a top.
And somehow it became a thing, and everybody was on it. And so I was like, we're the Total Top Alliance. That's how we got that child in trouble.
It's a different episode.
That's a Patreon episode.
So no, there's a group chat for Kansas City for all the puppies and the pets and the ponies and all those good things. And yeah, that's...
It's really, we should change the name to
Casey Thirst Traps.
The Thirst of
the
Saz.
thirsty dogs.
Because Saz will say something, and it'll be like, okay, here comes the thirst. It's coming. Here it comes.
I love it.
Here it comes. Like,
I'm a fan.
I'll be looking at my phone like this.
Oh, Saz responded. Saz doesn't respond for 3 days, and they're like, hey.
Hey, and then all of a sudden, Saz, boom, 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 boom. Meanwhile, we just have conversations back and forth that are just gifts. Like,
It's just this.
this is what you're gonna do?
All we do is share Tia and Zamara gifts or
Yeah,
Beyonce.
or Beyonce, or Monique. Precious.
I have to tell you, because we talk about that so much. I was at a party. A friend was there, and his partner's sister just walks in, and he just yells, "Who is this white bitch?" Had to walk away. I was like, no.
Nope.
I was like, I gotta text Jake.
Can't do it. Can't do it today. Nope, not today.
Who is this white
You
bitch?
brought this white bitch in my house. For anybody who wants to know, that is, if you've never seen the movie Precious, it is not a comedy. Let's just go.
It is not a comedy.
It is not a comedy. So do not laugh. But if you hear me yell in the middle of a bar, Precious, you brought that white bitch in my house, I'm talking to Saz.
Oh.
It's just one of those things that we bonded over. It's kind of like I think that the way that we all became friends is so interesting because I met you first, and this is on our show that we did for KC Legends, but I think it bears repeating. I met you at Floof's house and immediately was like, I like him. He's fun. Because you had that's when he was a
My
puppy.
Great Dane was this big.
It was a tiny little thing. I was like, oh, you're like, he's going to get much bigger. And he did.
He's a horse.
That's a grown-ass man. That dog has a credit score.
That's a high one. We're in Johnson County.
That dog credit score higher than mine. That dog needs to get, that dog has a Honda Accord outside that he drives back and forth to work every day. That dog is an accountant. You hear me? It's
Sure.
a big-ass fucking dog.
He needs to start paying some bills then.
I bet you that dog eats you at a house of home, don't he?
No, it's not
I was
bad.
about to say, whenever he can get him to eat.
He actually does not like. I free feed him. I like leave food out for him all the time, and he just picks and eats when he wants. I go through about I think it's like a 40-pound bag every 3 to 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks. It's really not much.
Oh wow! Figured that dog ate like
He eats about 6 cups a day, 7 cups a day.
that dog big as me.
He's taller.
He's
He's definitely taller.
that dog is gigantic.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
That's a big ass dog. Every time I look at him, I'm like, I didn't realize how big that fucking dog was till today. You're like, you've seen him before. I know.
You've seen him multiple
Multiple
times. You're like,
times.
shit.
Just a couple weeks ago.
But I was like, good lord, that's a big ass dog. I guess usually I'm seeing like around other people, and so it makes him.
Right. Well, whenever we pack Zephyr's house full of
Full of-
puppies, it's
He just-
difficult to tell the size.
To
of
tell
the
the
dog.
size, but the three, I was like, that dog's big as shit. Fuck, this dog's gonna eat my whole face off.
He'll take up the hallway.
But I forgot. Oh, so that's how. See how we tangented? Just. Arr. I made a puppy noise.
Ooh, you made a pup.
Arr.
We'll get you in a hood. Yeah.
Listen. I already have my pup name. Pup Pharaoh.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it.
So, are you a Sharpei? Where are we going with this?
Well, I just was like, I really love Egyptology.
What about the Sphinx dogs? The
Those are cats, aren't they?
no. Well, they have the one that's almost hairless. I can't think of the name of them. There's a dog that's kind of like that as well. Real dark skin. They always sit like that. They're
Great Danes do that.
yeah. They cross the paws.
It's because that dog is a fucking accountant.
Let me tell you, your tax is terrible.
The dog is a therapist, is what it is. Tell me about your life.
Pet me and tell me about your life. No, wait, you're not petting me. Okay, now keep talking.
That's why I had to end the relationship with my therapist. He was like, "Oh, you're a
Wanted you to
dog?"
pet him?
Yeah. He asked to pet me, and it was great. Don't do that with your therapist.
Did you fuck your therapist?
No,
Did you try to fuck your
no,
therapist?
that's why.
There was a lot of a
Deep-
delay there.
Deep thoughts.
It's a different story.
Deep thoughts with Saz.
Deep.
Did
That's
your therapist try to fuck you?
No,
Are you not gonna tell the story?
we're gonna tell that a different day.
Okay.
Deep thoughts with Jack Handy.
That's a different show.
Saturday Night Live.
I really want to know whether you tried to fuck your therapist tried to fuck you.
It was mutual.
You fucked your therapist
Yeah, I mean, eventually. He wasn't my therapist once it
when you
happened.
fucked him.
Yeah, like once it happened, like I realized that it was kind of going in that direction, and then I was like, oh, I need to find a new therapist. And the message I got was, you're not my patient anymore. What are you doing Saturday? So, yeah, and then we went to dinner.
Oh, well, at least you got dinner out of it.
We went to dinner, did not finish dinner, and he was like, what are you doing after this? I was like, probably going out to the bar. And he was like, you want to do something else? And I was like, yeah. And then that was it. We went to his house. He had an apartment in the Power and Light building. Went there and got therapy.
You got therapy. You got some sexual healing.
Yeah. And now my therapist is a woman that is almost probably 3 times my age. I don't know how she's breathing. Elderly.
Wow.
Love her to death.
Way to call me out.
No, you can't be my therapist yet. And yeah, she's like, oh, why did you switch? I was like, oh, you have a great repertoire with like LGBT and all that stuff. No, I'm like,
No, because I fucked my last therapist.
yeah,
That's
it
why.
was not a good time. We talked about it. She was like, that's not healthy. And I was like, yeah, I know, girl. That's why I'm here.
Was it good?
It wasn't
Would
worth
you
the price.
do it again?
It wasn't worth the price of therapy. No. Absolutely not.
So like, was like the dick big? Let's talk about it. Let's get.
Whole bottom.
I don't care. Like sometimes you need sometimes you need a hood ornament. You got something to hold on to. You got to hold on to it. It's leverage. You know what I'm saying?
Reach around.
It was good. It was good.
You just said it wasn't good though.
I mean, whenever you're saying big, like I'm thinking you're talking like this microphone. Like
It was a nice size.
I take a photo of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that didn't do anything because the hole.
Right. No, I mean whole.
But the hole wasn't great.
He was good. The problem was that he was my therapist.
He wasn't your therapist anymore.
You don't break that bond.
I understand.
So
You made more bonds, actually. You bonded your dick with his ass.
I didn't text him after that.
You ghosted your therapist?
Yeah.
After. You know what?
This was not worth $150
I hope you
an
don't
hour.
see this.
And if you do, please write into the show.
God, please don't. Or do. I honestly do.
Please, like, I was the therapist.
We need to have you on the next show.
Saz, we have a surprise for
If
you.
you'd like to see me speechless, there's very few times I don't have anything to say. That, I would just be like, oh, so good you're here.
Saz, we have a surprise for you.
Getting dagger eyes later.
Oh, we would be in trouble.
I know where the fuck y'all live. You've made the mistake of giving me your address. I know the code to everything in your house.
We would be in trouble. It would be like, that would be... We'd have to, like, get on Maury for that.
You better put me in a controlled environment.
We'd have to be somewhere where we...
Hold me back, bro.
We'd have to do the like live show at Missy's. Hey Saz, we brought somebody out for you.
What was that
And then
show?
we
The
leave.
People from your past. Do you
Oh my
remember?
God!
Yeah,
This is your life.
This is your life. And you hear the voices from behind the screen, and it'd be like, "Hey,
Guess who this is?
Yes, it is.
you used to visit me once a week at a."
You talking about Maury? You better have a cameraman because I'm start running. You better chase.
Listen, them cameramen at Missy's work real hard. We can make it happen.
It's hard to follow Kiki or Chow, especially whenever she's rolling on top of a car.
Child, I saw one time, and then I think the last time I was out there, one of the drag queens, I don't remember which drag queen it was out there, and I guess she dropped some money, and then somebody was like, and it was starting to blow away. Somebody's like, "You better get her money," and I was like, "I am not walking in the middle of the street for $4. I won't do it."
I'm not losing my life on 39th Street for $4.
And everybody in the line was like, "I don't know who you're talking to, but he's not talking to me.
God.
Because I'm not walking in the middle of that street for $4. God. I'm like just jumping on the car. Mind you, I said the daggone people on 39th Street, they don't know that they're in the middle of a gay bar till you bust your ass out there and decide you want to drop it like a thotty.
Till they see me walking up with all my gear on.
Then I'm like, oh, there's a
They're
homosexual.
like, oh shit, let's not go into that bar.
And then if you and then what if somebody, because if you jump in front of my car, it's a 50-50 chance whether I'm going to hit you or not. I'm going to be real.
Yeah, no, I've been needing to replace my brakes for a minute. I'm gonna keep going. How am I supposed to stop without brakes?
Speed bump.
Now it's a hate crime.
39th Street's full of bumps. I don't know. I'm gonna be like, I can't tell the difference.
Listen, all I know is like something just bumped out. A monster came out of nowhere and just jumped in the middle of the road, and I had to like all of a sudden they was just like dropping it like it was low. It was, I don't know what to do, and I thought they moved and they didn't move, and so I just went over them and it's just fine. I don't know.
They were bent over picking up a $1 bill.
All that for you mean you did all that for $4? And then there was the other night that I was where you guys weren't out there the night that the power went out.
No.
That was fun.
Where they gave tickets to everybody from the show or whatever it was.
No, this was a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
It was like it was in the middle of one of the drag shows, and just all of a sudden it was like power went out, and we were like, "Is this it, y'all?" Wasn't a storm or nothing. It was just like
It was hot.
I said, "Did somebody not pay their bill?" It was really hot that day too. I was like, "All this money Missy got in here, and y'all didn't pay the power bill." To be ashamed of yourselves. Now everybody got they lights, they cell phones up, trying to like light the drag queen as they're just sitting there doing like.
At least they kept the moment going.
They did keep the moment going. It was one of those things that was like, okay, that's cute. Because like me, I'm leaving.
I have to go home.
I'm leaving. if I were on stage and I did something and the power went out,
The show's over.
pack it up. I give up. You know what I'm saying? This was not what God's plan was for my life today. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave.
Does the same happen before a trick? Power goes out. That's it. I'm out.
Do I have any trick stories?
If I show up to a Trick's house and they don't have electricity, I'm leaving.
I have been to a trick's house where they didn't have electricity.
Oh, I turn off all the lights. What are you talking about?
In fact, I test it. Whenever I walk in, I'm like, click, click.
Is that why you do that every time you walk into the house?
In between that and touching the island, yeah.
Do you really touch the island when you walk in the house?
Zephyr. Zephyr. I might have a little like OCD, like ADD tendencies. On the island, he and I will be talking, and the whole time we're talking, I'm just doing this on the island. And the problem is I see him look at me whenever I do.
With the it's the judgmental face.
And 9 times out of 10, I don't even see the face. It's just I see him constantly doing this. He's constantly rubbing the island, and it just makes me so self-conscious. And so it got to the point, and anytime he comes over, I start wiping down the island seconds before he walks in, so there is nothing.
So he
Nothing
can't go.
for me to get.
So he can't go.
Don't touch any other surface, but that island is fine.
I don't touch
No.
the counters. The island, though, as we're talking, I'm like, my hands are on it. I'm like,
If you come in with a white glove, just run, girl.
as I walk in, hello.
I feel like, oh.
It's that kind
Is
of
that
party?
kind of meeting?
Like, no, this is just for the countertop.
Just for the top. A countertop.
Just for the. Have I had?
Countertop is another word for bottom.
I just gotta say.
Are you a top or a countertop?
Oh my God, you're a countertop. You know, I'd like to call myself I'm a lanai. I don't even know.
I just call myself a hole.
The emoji.
Just the hole.
Just the hole.
Just the hole. I'm a donut hole.
Glazed. Glazed or cake?
Cake, girl.
Cake? Yeah, oh, old-fashioned donuts.
Yes.
Tight.
There ain't nothing old fashioned
Thick.
here.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta. Yeah, I tell people you can't just. You know what? We're just gonna go there. We're just gonna go there. I and my bottom air have decided on a thing. There's a lot back here. You just can't be coming with regular dick. Like, you just can't do it. I'm gonna need to I need you to have like a long john.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that excuse. Me too.
Cause there's nothing worse than having somebody back there pumping and sweating, and it's not doing nothing. You've been there. As a top, you don't.
And you can tell that they are feeling it.
They're
and you're
feeling
just
it.
like,
And you're just like,
you haven't even broken the skin yet. You haven't gone back.
you just in between them cheeks like a hot dog.
If it's good for them.
And that's why I just
If
go.
it's
You
good
go.
for them.
You do your thing.
If it's good for them.
But you're not getting invited back a second time.
I mean, there have been times where I've been like, all right, this is fine, because I didn't really want to do it anyway. And as long as if you're back there pumping and sweating, and I'm just chilling, that's fine.
See, I
But if
never
I'm
had
like-
that problem where I didn't want to do it anyway.
There've been some times where I've been like, I could eat a
No,
sandwich.
if I bring anybody over, I immediately, that is like, they could be like, I only want this, and I'd be like, all right, but can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? And they're just like, no, I only want this. Okay, we can do that. Can we do this too?
You over here playing Let's Make a Deal. I'm like, I can have a sandwich.
I'm like, mm-mm.
And sometimes I'll be
I
like,
don't eat till 11:39 after I know that I'm done.
Let me tell you a fucking story about this man not eating. This man, as a top in the community, this man, we went to a fucking leather event. Sash Bash. Great event. Please go. We went. It is, I don't know, 12 midnight. I'm like, Zephyr, listen. Bitch, I don't know what you're eating, what you're doing, what you're like. I can't do this. I can't drink all day and not eat. Zephyr, I'm a top. I gotta eat. I'm gonna die. Wake up the next morning. This motherfucker, he's like, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna get ready for the day. I'm like, cool. I still ain't had breakfast. My motherfucking ass is dying. We wake up, and then he gets out. I'm already dressed. I'm like, let's go. I need food.
To eat something
I have to
right now.
go. I have to go. We get there. Zephyr's like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to get some. I'm like, I need a steak, eggs, hash brown. The minute we leave the bar that night, I'm like, go to Taco Bell. Go to Taco
Listen,
Bell. Go
I'm
to
not
Taco
here hanging
Bell.
with you and just not eating shit.
Oh.
I'm going to eat. I don't know what to
But
tell you.
to be fair, before we even went on this trip, I specifically told him, I said, whenever you are hungry or want to eat, say something and we will go and get some to eat. Because I said I typically will not just like go, oh, let's go grab food right now. Like, I don't think like that. So when you want it, you just say it and I'll give it to you. And the
When
food
you
too.
want it,
When you want it, let
just
me know.
let me know and I'll give it to you.
Well, now I've learned when we travel, I'm like, pull over there.
Yeah.
I need some food.
And that's all it takes.
He's good. But
That first time,
but I was trying to be
you're
courteous.
trying to be cute.
I
You
was
ain't got to
like,
listen.
I was
We're
like-
not at the age where you can be cute no more.
Right,
Like,
no.
When I'm hungry, I'm like, bitch, I'm hungry.
See, I
And you got about 30 minutes.
I go to camp all weekend and I have a protein shake and that's it.
A protein shake? Yeah, come.
Yep.
no, it's a shake.
What are you shaking it up?
Got to get it frothy.
This is not for children.
It is.
Sorry.
It is.
And this is the first episode, guys, so we really don't know what we're fucking doing. But, you know, it's going to be,
It'll happen.
y'all listen. Frothy.
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 Protein shakes. And
Now accepting applications.
so we're actually talking about planning we're planning the run and stuff for next year. And they were, I have the illustrious, honor of putting this shit together. And someone was like, they were talking about food. They're like, can you get a bottom friendly menu? And I was like, ice. You're getting ice.
You want
Tic-tac and
celery and ice.
Tic Tacs and Imodium.
There's a bowl of Imodium right next to all the food for the tops.
Like you're getting like
Can you get a bottom-friendly menu?
ice. You can have ice and air. That's all you can have.
Have you seen Bottom Brunch, the video? Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh. Look it up. I'll send you the link or something. It is literally just called Bottom Brunch, and it's this whole video. I think it's on YouTube. You could actually just look it up, and it's just like this guy wakes up and he's like, "Oh, they're all getting ready to go out for breakfast," and blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, he gets this text message, and it's somebody that wants to hook up tonight, and he's like, well, how big is he? And they start going, is he like, they give it different sizes, and they're like, oh no, he's like that, he's like going, oh, so we got this whole thing planned, and they go out to Bottom Brunch, and they serve. They bring out a bowl of air, and they bring out like you see them all like eating ice cubes and like a fork and a knife, and like, oh, taste that, and they're like making all these like foods so good, and they're just like, oh my gosh, and then like, oh, I'm so full, I don't know that I could have it, but let me take a look at the dessert menu, and then he gets a message that the guy canceled. He's like, screw this, I'm out, I'm going to Chipotle.
I'm gonna eat some real food now. I saw one that was like vacation dick versus boyfriend dick.
I hate how much that term comes up in my friend group.
Vacation dick?
So vacation dick or boyfriend dick. So like I'll have a single friend that's like, hey, I'm talking to this new guy, and I'm like, oh, is it boyfriend dick or vacation dick? The problem is everybody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain threshold of what like boyfriend dick is and what vacation dick is. There are some
they are
some
one and the
outlets.
same for me.
Yeah. Zephyr's like, listen.
I just want all of it.
If it's not a 10-day journey, you can't be the boyfriend or the trip.
No, that's not true. I like it all. I don't have a preference.
This isn't an advertisement.
Oh.
I will tell you
Oops.
like this. I will put it like this. I enjoy all pies, but I would prefer a larger slice of pie than a smaller slice of pie.
I'm happy.
All pie's delicious.
I'm happy to get any pie. Go ahead. So you were telling your story, and I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, that was it. No. Just boyfriend dick.
It just comes up
like
all the time.
it's a whole thing, and the problem is that so many people in the community fully understand what vacation
Versus boyfriend dick.
is.
Because boyfriend dick is dick you can have every day.
That's everyday dick.
That's everyday dick.
Everyday dick, and then there's vacation dick, where it's like, oh, we're gonna
have to.
Ooh, it's
Jesus.
been 4 days of this. I gotta
Listen. I need to be able to breathe.
mind the gape, you know.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gape.
Mind the gape. That is the title of this episode. Mind the gape.
Mind the gape. And it's got to be done in the British accent.
Mind the gape.
The go.
Mind the gape.
Mind the gape.
You know, I have two friends, and both of them they are dating, and they both have vacation dick.
It's this.
And I'm like, which one?
Share.
I said it is rude for both of y'all to have dick like this.
Right? I kind of again, I kind of feel the same way even about like, and I say this jokingly because I love all my friends and stuff, but you know, all the polyamorous ones, like, hey, I've got, you know, I'm a bottom and I've got 3 boyfriends that are tops. Like, you're taking all of the top boyfriends. There are none left for the rest of us. It's not fair. Some of us can't get 1 and you've got 4.
There's 9 tops in Kansas City, and you have 4 of them. Share.
I didn't get to tell you guys this. I got broken up with by somebody I didn't know I was dating.
I heard that. Well, I heard something.
What? You didn't know y'all were dating? Elaborate.
So I met this dude at Why Not Wednesday, which is a local a local munch for kink and poly people, and he was flirting with me, and I was like, you know, allowing myself to be flirted with. And, you know, we exchanged numbers and we were talking, but like I would text and he wouldn't respond for like 3 days, which I don't care. But he had mentioned he was moving to Utah. And I was like, cool. None of my business.
Vacation dick category.
Like, not even vacation, like, no, like, just, we're going to be friends. Well, then, like, last Friday I get a message from him that says, hey, I've been thinking about it and I don't think this is going to work.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? What are you talking about? We're just 2 different people and blah, blah. And I was like, what are you...
Get back to the work part.
What are you talking about? Like, I don't, like... And he's like, I just don't think that, like, anything between us would work other than friendship. And I was like...
Good!
I was like, listen, I get we were flirting back and forth and shit, but I was thinking, friends, you're like halfway across the country.
You were planning China?
You planned your life. I have not.
I'm like, I don't... Okay. And he's like, well, you're more of an extrovert and I'm an introvert. And, you know, sometimes it's not compatible. And I was like, actually, I really would rather be by myself most of the time. I've just learned how to be an extrovert, but thanks. And again, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think this is going to work out. Who is this?
Yeah. You have not even been saved in my number.
I don't even have this. I don't even have this number saved. Who is this?
This number is not saved in my phone yet, so you haven't gotten to the point where anything is even on the table. Like,
my phone is still asking me if this is spam.
I've gotten very bad when I like send anybody a message, or like if I you know send them a text message and it's the first time I've ever messaged them, I have to put my very first message is, "Hi JB, this is Brett," so that I know your name. Otherwise, I will sit there and be like having these conversations, and I've got these messages like people that I've been talking to for a year, and I don't have their name saved, and I have no clue who I'm talking to.
Oh, so I'd be like, maybe so and so, and I'm like,
did I tell you? Did I talk about that last time?
No.
So iPhone did that to me and screwed me up.
I have to climb behind this couch.
So, literally, I thought we talked about this.
No.
Okay.
No,
So,
not at all.
I won't. I'm not going to mention the names, but so iPhone sends me this, you know, or this guy, somebody that I've been chatting with, you know, sends me this message, and it was like, you know, hey, I'm really feeling in a top mood tonight. I'd really like for you to come over or whatever. And I'm like, and it said, you know, of course, my iPhone says maybe, you know, blank name, and I'm like, I didn't think blank name was interested in me like that, but okay. And I was like going through and I'm carrying on this entire conversation with this person and I'm like going, yeah, and they're like giving me their address and I'm like, fine. And I'm like looking and it's like a 45-minute drive away. It's like all the way up 635 and out like towards the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you lived that far away, first of all. So I'm like, I get all the way out there after, all of the prep work and everything that needs to go into this. I get all the way out there. The person opens up the door, and I'm going, you're not... Oh, now I know who you are. And it's somebody that had I had known who it was, I probably would not have driven that far, because this person is an individual that is kind of like the two-pump chump. And, like, literally, it took me longer to take off my shoes than what this person took to finish their deed.
This is one of my favorite stories. I love this.
And so
much.
meanwhile, I literally it took me longer to get undressed than what I was undressed for. And I'm putting my clothes back on and I'm like now driving 45 minutes back home going, what the hell? and the funnier part about the story is I did tell the...
Because he drove all the way up there. He was going to get something out of it.
Oh, it's fine. It's just like really, I wouldn't have come out here for 30 seconds of this. But I did tell the other person. I didn't tell them what the story was. So I did tell them. So I carried on this whole conversation with somebody thinking it was you, and then I found out it wasn't. And
so I was thinking about you the whole time I was getting back
there. They have no clue what the whole thing was about.
Hopefully they don't piece it together.
That's all right.
And if you do, please make sure you listen.
Right into the show.
Right into the show.
Much like my therapist. Right into the show.
Oh, I'd probably tell them now.
That's because you've climbed that hill?
We've climbed that hill to a
Kate
certain
Bush
extent.
running up that hill.
You've run up that hill?
Something like that, yeah.
I thought this was going to happen way earlier, and it didn't.
I actually topped that person. Right? I switch.
Really?
I do.
I didn't know that. I thought whole.
If I have a preference, if I have a choice, yeah, it's gonna be that. Actually, my preference is I'd love to flip. Okay, you give me for a few minutes, turn over, it's my turn. All right, we're switching again. Let's switch again.
You know what? I could get behind that.
That's my
it's
preference.
It's like I'm close. Let's flip.
Yep.
Let's go. I'm close.
Let's flip.
Oh, you close? Let's flip.
Is that how you do?
Hell no.
You like I'm just.
Hole is a hole.
He's just going.
Yeah.
I don't know. You told us a bottom story last time.
Yeah. Well, I always say I'm a top. Same reason I always say whenever people are like, oh, it's your sexuality. I'm like, I'm gay. My thing is, am I fully? No. It's cute. It's breathing. It's alive. It's warm, and it likes me. Let's go. Human too, but
I was like,
we gotta specify.
Please
Don't do that.
Don't do that. We'll play those games.
It's the same thing with versus topping or flipping or anything. Will I do it? 100%. Am I able to do it? Without question. What's my preference? That. It's much easier to just be yeah.
The top.
You
I
know,
just I go through
than
eras.
to flip and flop and be let me explain this and this part. No, and it's normally just yeah, I'm top.
I say I go through eras, because much like Beyonce, we have eras.
Is this your Renaissance?
No, I'm in my bottom era.
I think your bottom era should be your Renaissance.
It is.
Returning to where you...
I mean, I did start off as so we're...
Perfect, then.
I started off, the first time I ever had sex with a man, I was a bottom. And then for years after that, I was just a top. Strict top. You're not putting anything in my booty hole.
No, this exit only.
Yes. I was like that for 15 years. I've only bottomed for 3 people.
I can't say that, but I do have a very similar story. When I was younger, many years ago, before I left Kansas City originally the first time, I was strictly bottom up until the time I was about 19 years old. And I was with somebody here in Kansas City that was very, very, very rough with me. They were not big, but they were very rough. I had to have 3 stitches. And after that, I spent the next 15 15, 20 years not bottoming at all. Like if I ever tried to bottom, like it was not pretty. It
Wasn't a great time.
it was yeah, red blood everywhere. Like I couldn't do it. I
Right.
physically could
Could
not
not
do
do
it. And it wasn't until I was about 38 years old that I figured like, oh, I'm gonna try this again, and almost like, yeah, I
And
haven't
you-
turned
you
back
haven't
since.
turned back Well, it's funny because like me and my partner have been together for 13 years, and for the first, I'd say like first 7 years of our relationship, I was the top, and that's just all there was to it. Like, I was the top, and then one day he just decided
Turn over.
to turn over, not anymore, and now he will be like,
Roll over.
Hey,
and I'm like, okay, cool. And since then, I was like, the more that and now that we've decided to be open, I'm like, I have only experienced bottoming from at that point 3 people. Like, I should probably figure out what how much of this, what I enjoy about this, and get some more, dicks under my belt, for lack of a better term.
Notches on the
practice.
bedpost.
Some practice.
Dicks on the belt.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's if you're only getting the same meal every day, well, not every day, whatever. We're cutting this part out.
there's no editing.
There is no editing.
There's
It's
no
fine.
editing. This is live.
This is live.
This is just much like you told us in our Casey Legends video.
If you say it, you say
If
it.
you say it, you say it.
No, it's just I'm like, I want to try it because part of it is, I think part of it's the same thing with that prudish thing with me, is that there's like this block that I have to like figure out how to get over, and because I was like, I can't get out of my head still to this day when it comes to like bottoming. Like, I'm still like, is everything fresh down there? Is everything great? Like,
Fair. That is a fair
Yep.
concern.
Been there, done that.
like am I moving in the right direction? Is things good? Like, what?
I think there's a lot more pressure on people who choose to be submissive or like in the bottom position to like be this like pristine, clean, like. And I mean, accidents happen. We all know that.
Here's the thing, yeah.
If you're a
You're gonna
person
play
that's doing
there,
that,
you have to expect that
I
it's gonna
understand
happen
that
at some
like
point in
things
time.
happen. Like
Doesn't make it easier to accept,
It doesn't.
it doesn't.
but you have to understand.
I'm not
it.
Picasso. I don't want to paint nothing.
Well, the thing is like even to the if you're a top watching this, understand like there's nothing more than you can do for a bottom in that situation than be compassionate and be like, hey, like let's go take a shower. Let's go get in the shower. Like just something. Just like to immediately be like, nah, fuck this. It's not how you handle that situation.
And you have to also be aware of, like, sometimes shit happens, and sometimes that's your fault. Like, you
did this.
may do that. Like, they may have done all of the things, all of their due diligence back there, and you may have just hit that one spot.
So, coming from a person with a piercing, that tends to catch where it normally wouldn't. So if I'm bottoming for somebody who's not pierced, everything's fine. All of a sudden, somebody with a piercing may come along, and that piercing just happens
Hit that spot.
to hit something, and it catches. It's like a spoon. It's like a.
And then all of a sudden, you never, like, and sometimes if you show up with surprise sex means you got to deal with
Surprises.
the repercussions of the surprises. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you may not have to deal. You rolling the dice every time. If you're like, hey, if you take somebody home from the bar and you want to put it in a booty hole, you
Rolling the dice.
rolling the dice, and you have to be. I have had plenty of times where I have, dived in the ocean and came back with a little bit of, swamp on me. And you gotta just learn how to. Is it gonna stop me from getting my nut? It depends. It really does depend. I have to think about that. It depends. It depends. It does. It depends.
I have comments. I'm just gonna keep them.
No, keep it out. Keep it out. Go ahead. Let it go.
Just keep it in. You won't notice until you pull out.
Because sometimes sometimes when I was in my top era, you both of you will understand. It's like pulling out and putting it back in and just watching you. Sometimes,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts.
one of the things. It's like
watching it.
watching
That's
it
part
go
about
away.
being on the sling is it going in and out and watching from the mirror up there.
Well, you have you've now given them everything. Now they know where we are. The favorite part about that sling is the wall, like the security mirror.
The Walmart security mirror is everything.
It's my favorite part.
It's a convex mirror that you can watch
I was
everything.
hoping you would stick a GoPro up there and stick the screens around.
I have a GoPro up there for it, and that's what that is for.
Oh.
So that you can watch, so that people can watch it.
Yeah, so I have security cameras 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So you can just be your own point. Not this one pointing directly down on us.
No, well, that one goes down for when the
Right,
bench
this'll
is
be
right
the
here.
other angle for this show. It's gonna
Well,
be
they're not plugged in right now,
Ah,
so we're good.
It's like,
but
'cause
that
really we
one-
could just do the show here.
that one
We'll do
goes-
the show through security cameras.
That one goes right down on top of the bench,
When
so you can get the top angle of what's going on.
Well, guys, I actually have one more idea before we close out the show because we're at an hour already because we've been doing the damn thing. If you would like to show, since they know where we are now, I'd like to do a review
A review.
of something that you have over there in your toy chest, and tell us your experience, and maybe it's something that you both have. I don't know anything over there.
There's probably toys I've either used over there or have used outside of here.
You be playing in this dungeon too?
No,
I've
he's never played in this dungeon. That's what I'm like, oh, and he's never used any of these, my specifics.
Not his specifics, but I mean, he's not the only one that owns these toys.
Oh, they're all
Custom
Zephyr
one-on-one.
exclusives.
Yeah,
No,
one-on-one.
they're not one of ones.
Is there anything over there that you would like to say? Hey, this is now we're moving on. Like we've already busted the dam
Yeah.
open.
I don't know. Where
The
do you
dental
want?
dam
What do you
is
want?
open.
You pick something. I've got everything from violet wands to Eastim to sounders to ropes to.
I've always wanted to try Eastim. Not now.
Get out his little tackle box.
So this is my Eastim kit.
So tell people what Eastim is.
Eastim is exactly that. It's electrostimulation. There's a few different methods of what you can do. This is typically a cock ring base that is it's a conductor silicone. This would be your anal
Is that going in your
insert.
booty hole?
Yep.
I don't
And
know
then
if I
so
want to
this is the best part because when this one's inside, this one's around your cock. This sends an electric pulse between the two, which goes right across your prostate. Yeah. So this is my favorite combination, but there's also the combination of this. So cock ring, glands ring, sends the electric back and forth on that front, and then this one goes over the head as a again the glands ring head type scenario.
I was like, this looks like this is the tiniest little cock cage I've ever seen in my life.
And then so it's got all the different connections there, and then this is the box. So you've got 4 different controls: coarse, fine, pulse, and frequency. And you have the thing with Eastim, and it's really great. I enjoy it, but it's one of those things that you don't sit down like, I'm going to try this for 10 minutes.
No, that's
This is a 2.5 hour thing. When you sit down for this, you got to be prepared to spend time because there are several settings here that you've got to go back and forth and find the one that works and that feels best for you. And the thing with Eastim, the first time, it's really hard. If you know somebody that's got one or whatever, that's great. But before you go buy them, because these things are like $600. And yeah, so when you go to play with it, it's one of those like, oh, I just spent $600 to realize I don't like this.
Yeah, no, that's a terrible. You gonna learn to like it today, bitch.
Right.
I'm gonna like this.
They've got that's one of those things that
they tell you like here's the beginner setting and try this. This is where most people like it. I hated it. I hated that setting. It was the worst thing. I was the exact opposite of where it tells you this. It said put this number at a 1 and this number at a 10 and start here. I hated it. When I put this number at a 10 and this number at a 1, I was like, now that the first time, I should say the only time, one of the only few times, I think it's only been like 2 or 3 times where I've been able to have an HFO, hands-free orgasm, was with eStim. But again, it was like 2.5 hours of letting this thing just milk.
do what it's doing.
Just do what it's doing.
Just milk it out like a cow.
Yep. And yeah.
So that was his eStim kit. So that is what we'll do on each episode is we'll say what's in Zephyr's toy box.
I got lots.
We'll bring something different every time.
Every time we'll be like what's in Zephyr's playpen.
That's it.
Well, guys, this was so much fun. We'll be back. We're going to be doing this monthly, right? We said once a month?
Once a month.
Yeah.
Once a month. And it will be, this one we're going to put on YouTube. But going forward, they're going on Patreon. So, if you want to catch what's going on in the pound, you got to have access to, you got to have the Patreon. That's patreon.com/KCCaffeine. What's going on this month, guys?
So
Laid Back Leather is tomorrow night.
The Laid Back Leather is tomorrow night. Shortly after that, we have Pound that takes place at Woody's in Kansas City.
Second Thursday, the fourth Thursday, we've got...
Second and fourth Thursday are 2 big events. As for kind of events we're really hosting.
Yeah, as far as those events, the local, those I think are big ones. We'll have a Pound meeting at some point, and then on...
Zephyr and I, we're traveling for things.
Yeah, you guys are going to be gone.
I'm hosting, I'm going to be judging 2 leather contests. Because those have not necessarily been made public announcements yet, so I'm not going to specify which leather contests those are.
I will be there. But it's moral support, not as a judge.
Yeah. So I'll be...
I want to go with you guys to one of these one time. I want to go. Okay. I think we would have a smashing good time.
Do you want to come to Wisconsin?
Wisconsin is what weekend?
September 16th.
I'm going to be in Minnesota for the ATOS run.
Yes.
Why are all these things happening at the same time?
They always happen at the same time. If I learned anything, that all of these people stack events on all the same weekend.
It's really kind of rude. Because because Beyond Vanilla was one of the ones I wanted to go to. It's the same time as the ATOS run.
Yep, I got asked to go to that one too.
And I would have loved to go to the event that's the first weekend in October, but I will be at the Bloodline Intensive working, doing something, acting like a nutcase or whatever. But next time that you guys have one that you know you're going to, tell me early enough so I can mark it off on my calendar.
Okay.
And I will go because I think the Tres Amigos would have a fucking blast.
I can see it now. We're going to be driving in the car, 3 of us in the front of the truck, and there's going to be a camera, and we're going to be doing the podcast as we're
driving. This is
a road trip.
This is bits and pieces of each.
We could document the entire trip and just be like the pound cast goes on the road. We let the dogs out of the barn, y'all. All right. So don't forget to also like and subscribe to KCAPC for more content like this and other things. Where can the folks find you?
You can find Pup Saz on Twitter at Saz_Iraq, ERAC.
And where can they find? They can't find you.
I'm not on Twitter.
Is that a Twitter?
I don't. I send my nudes directly.
It's a mailing list.
It's a mailing list.
Do you know how much it cost me to print my nudes and then mail them out to you?
Headshots.
It's these right here.
This is what it cost.
But I'm on Facebook basically as George Dane.
George Dane. So make sure you guys are finding them. There will be a Twitter for Poundcast coming soon. When I get on it, you can find me on all of the socials, anywhere you can stalk your ex at littlestar8481. You can also find more adult things at little AD Star. I don't post pictures, or it's very rare that I post them, but I will tweet other people's things. Tell you, he shocked me with a picture one time. I mean, we already talked about it, but I was like, "Is that penis?" Wasn't the whole penis, but it was just a piece of penis.
It's always a piece of penis.
Hopefully it's not a piece of a penis. Make the whole thing. Don't just give me a piece of it.
Don't keep showing It's always a piece of penis until you
It's always a
subscribe
piece of
to the
penis.
Patreon.
Once you subscribe to the Patreon, then you get the full penis. No, that's none of my business. That's if you decide that you want to put your full penis on the Patreon.
It is on. No, it's not on the Patreon. The full thing's on Twitter.
I have not didn't see the full. I saw.
Well, you haven't gone digging.
I ain't dig
Just
deep
swipe
enough.
left.
I ain't dig deep enough. I just saw the one where you holding. And I was like, that's a penis.
That was a penis.
That's an erect penis, guys.
I never.
I'm clutched my pearls.
I clutched his pearls.
Anyway, you can find me in all of those places. And if you want to hang out with me online while I play video games, KC Caffeine Gaming is on Twitch. I'll be on later at some point to do something weird. I don't know. It's always fun. But other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us. And we will see you guys next month. We didn't talk about Beyonce. Damn it.
Fuck.
It's amazing. Just watch it.
Stream Renaissance.
Stream Renaissance everywhere. You want to hit the pause button, hit the stop button.